Number two, this is number two in my series, as we're looking at the traits of what makes a guy cool, and in the discussion of hair loss, realizing that even if you have a perfect head of hair, if you don't have these traits, you're not going to be cool. People are not going to be around you, and they're not going to like you anyway. Going back to that whole garbage personality. You can have a perfect head of hair, but if you've got a garbage personality, no one's going to like you or think you're attractive and worth pursuing in any way. So the second way, here it is on my sticky note here, competent. Let's talk about being competent. As I'm going through these traits, I'm turning on me and thinking, am I these things? And you can be the judge. I say absolutely I'm competent. I think that absolutely I have a good understanding of how society works, how the world works, how insecurity works, and therefore I'm able to speak to people about that and actually help them with that. I'm very quick to get ahead of people psychologically and predict where they're going, and knowing how they feel and knowing what's going to motivate them. One of the best signs that I'm a competent person is my whole hair loss truth thing. I know that I can't convince people against what they already believe about hair loss. So the people who believe that minoxidil is the only way, I let them keep believing it, because the fact that they believe it is more important. Okay? If I weren't competent, I would be trying to argue and say whatever I believe is the only way, and any other way is stupid. But I'm a very competent person. I understand that people have their own truths, and they got to do what works for them. I understand people. Ultimately, more than anything, this is a channel about psychology more than it is hair loss. But I disguise it as a hair loss channel. But really, this is about you understanding yourself, how you think, and how people perceive you. Closing thought, proof that I'm competent. Hair loss haters, those insecure guys that watch my channels and throw the hate at me, okay? When they watch my videos where I've interviewed girls and I said, what do you think about balding guys? After I interviewed them, and the other question I asked them first was, what are the most attractive traits you see in men? Do you find attractive in men? They never brought up hair, ever. But when I specifically pinpointed them, they're like, what's the big deal? I've dated bald guys before. And the hair loss haters, the insecure guys, say, they're lying. They're totally lying. They just don't want to be seen as vain. But see, that's a reflection of how that person feels about themselves. There's bald guys that are confident, that know what women are actually looking for. And ultimately, it goes to these 11 things in this series that I'm talking about. Being competent, understanding how the world actually works, understanding that people are wired different and people are motivated by different things. That when it comes to girls, hair is not the most important thing. It's not even in the top 10. It's not. And if you believe that it is, then you're attracted to the wrong kind of girl, which is crazy, because she's so insecure in herself that she casts that insecurity and makes the placement all about physical, how you look. So that's not someone you want to be involved with. But typically insecure people probably find each other and end up in that situation. I say all of this to express that I feel that I'm competent. I understand what's going on. I don't know everything, but that only further reinforces the fact that I'm competent. Because an ignorant person would say, well, don't you think if I were wrong, I'd know it? No, Nick Shull assumes he's wrong at least half the time. That way, I give myself plenty of potential to grow and learn and evolve and mature as a person. I feel that I'm competent. Do you feel that you're competent? Because if not, you can have a full head of hair, but if you don't understand how things work, how people work, what people are motivated by, what good is your hair? Without these 11 things in this series, what good is hair? What do you think? Right here.